Lewis Hamilton arrived in Imola as the redeemer. He left as the betrayed. Devastated, he confessed, but not from ordinary frustration. This was deeper, a shock, a betrayal dressed in Ferrari red, because this isn't just about a slow car. Hamilton admitted the setup felt right, the brakes were fine, the balance was there, everything was kind of in place. But the lap time wouldn't come. "We just can't go quicker," he said, like the car had an invisible limiter, as if someone had programmed it to obey, but not deliver. While Verstappen danced through turns 2 and 3, Hamilton was chasing a ghost, a car that responded but refused to bite. That's not adaptation, that's sabotage written in silence. Leclerc echoed it. "I can't do miracles." Why the emphasis? To shield himself, because inside Ferrari someone will be blamed for this disgrace. What if the plan was never to win in Imola, but to silence Hamilton before the Tifosi? From the outside, the SF-25 looks like progress. New aero, promising simulations, optimism in press releases, but step into the cockpit and a different story unfolds, one of deception by design. Hamilton's words betray more than frustration. He believed in the setup, felt the car was good. That means the tools told him it would work. But when he pushed, nothing, no return. That's not just mechanical limitation, that's strategic sandbagging. And why does Leclerc, the Ferrari loyalist, suddenly distance himself? "This is what's in the car," he shrugs. Translation: "Don't blame me for what they gave us." When both drivers echo the same coded message, P nowhere, it's no longer coincidence, it's rebellion. The engineers promised upgrades, but upgrades to what? Hamilton expected evolution. What he got was camouflage, a mirage of performance masking political stagnation. And here's the real twist. Did someone inside Ferrari want Imola to fail? To humble Hamilton before his legend grows too powerful? When Charles Leclerc says, "I can't do miracles," it's not just about machinery, it's a message. One not aimed at fans, but at Ferrari's upper ranks, and maybe at Hamilton himself. Leclerc has never been this blunt, this detached. No emotional defense of the team, no hopeful excuses, just resignation. Why? Because he's no longer the chosen one. He's watching his territory be invaded, not by a rookie, but by a legend. Behind closed doors, Ferrari is split. One side backs Leclerc, the golden boy who grew with the Scuderia. The other sees Hamilton as the global icon who can resurrect Ferrari's lost mythos. And Imola, it became a battleground for that silent war. Leclerc's "no miracles" line is code. It's a warning to Maranello: if you want Hamilton to shine, don't expect me to save your image. It's a subtle power play. What Ferrari fans saw was two drivers out in Q2. What they missed was a cold civil war beginning to boil. And in wars like these, speed is secondary. Control is everything. Devastated. That word doesn't come from setup issues, it comes from betrayal. Hamilton believed in Ferrari's promises, about the SF-25, about collaboration, about legacy. But Imola exposed a darker truth. Someone inside Ferrari wants him quiet. And in Formula 1, failure is rarely accidental. Let's be clear, Hamilton doesn't miss Q3 because of driving. His telemetry showed commitment. Brake feel was there. He trusted the car. That trust was his first mistake, because what if someone made sure that trust was misplaced? Power inside Ferrari isn't decided on track. It's decided in rooms Hamilton hasn't yet conquered, and in those rooms, there are engineers, strategists, and even board members who see Hamilton not as savior, but as a threat to Leclerc, to status, to control. A strong Hamilton forces Ferrari to change. A humiliated Hamilton? Easy to contain. Imola wasn't just a qualifying session, it was a coded message. Know your place. But here's the danger they didn't calculate. Legends don't break, they retaliate. After the session, Hamilton smiled, calm, collected. But for those who know the language of champions, that smile wasn't peace. It was a warning. He didn't lash out, he didn't name names. That's not diplomacy, that's calculation. Because when Hamilton goes quiet, it means he's storing names, logging patterns, decoding betrayal. He's been here before. Remember Mercedes 2021? He knows how sabotage dresses itself in politeness. Behind the scenes, engineers spoke in vague terms. We'll analyze. We're learning. But listen closer, it's the same deflection used when accountability is being buried. And Leclerc, he wasn't celebrating P11, but he also wasn't broken. Why? Because he expected this car to fail. The SF-25 didn't surprise him. It betrayed Hamilton, not Charles. You're on. Watch the body language on the pit wall. Minimal radio to Hamilton. No urgency, no visible frustration. It's not disappointment, it's detachment. As if this was anticipated. So here's the question Ferrari doesn't want asked. Was Imola a failure or a setup? Let's dissect what Hamilton actually said. The setup was just right. Everything was kind of in place. That's not confusion. That's a clue. It means the car obeyed until it didn't. Welcome to the dark art of selective performance. In F1, cars don't just go slow, they are made to. Through ride height tweaks, brake migration changes, throttle maps just conservative enough to avoid suspicion, sabotage doesn't always look like failure. Sometimes it's simply restraint. Hamilton felt everything working. That's the genius of the trap, because when a car pretends to comply but holds back the final tenths, the driver blames himself. He doubts, he spirals. Meanwhile, Ferrari keeps plausible deniability. Look, both drivers struggled, but the telemetry between Leclerc and Hamilton wasn't identical. Different rear-end stability, different response on power exit, same chassis, different truths. And here lies the brilliance of internal sabotage. No one needs to crash the car, just program it not to fly. Imola wasn't just a race, it was the opening act of a power struggle. Because with Hamilton in red, Ferrari isn't just managing a driver, it's managing a myth. And myths scare institutions built on hierarchy. Hamilton represents chaos to the Ferrari order, a champion who questions strategy, demands transparency, and exposes weakness. That's not what Maranello is used to. They prefer loyalists, programmable talents, drivers who know their role. So when the SF-25 under-delivered, was it coincidence or containment? Let's be honest, if Hamilton had outqualified Leclerc in front of the Tifosi in his very first Italian outing, the power would shift overnight. Headlines would crown him the new prince, Leclerc's political capital would shrink, and those who backed the Monegasque project for years, exposed. But by ensuring both drivers fail, Ferrari preserves the illusion of equality. No drama, no headlines, no threat. And maybe that's the plan, keep Hamilton boxed just long enough until his aura fades. But what they forget is, legends don't fade, they ignite. Devastated. That's how Hamilton summed up Imola. But behind that word lies the birth of something far more dangerous: resolve. He didn't come to Ferrari to play the game, he came to rewrite it. And now, with betrayal in plain sight, he knows the cost of trusting the system. That pain, it's fuel. It's the moment a legend stops negotiating and starts dismantling the politics. Because here's what the paddock won't admit. Hamilton with nothing to lose is Hamilton at his most lethal. Ferrari thought they could tame the myth. Feed him just enough to smile, but not enough to rise. But Imola backfired. The fans saw through the charade. The P nowhere exposed the reality. Ferrari doesn't have a speed problem. It has a fear of letting go. And now, the Tifosi must choose. Protect the status quo, or embrace the chaos of greatness. Because Hamilton didn't come for podiums. He came for justice, for legacy, for that 8th title they tried to erase. And if you believe the truth deserves to be louder than the politics, you already know which side you